Hey everybody, it's Mike Pingel. Thank you for joining me for the Mike Pingel Show. Today it's a very special day. We're gonna dive into a wonderful, wonderful single that's just been released for Christmas. But I also want to thank everybody who's watching out there on streaming on Happy TV. I am happy to be a part of the Happy TV family. And those of you who are watching me on all my other platforms, thank you for joining. And please share this video with all your friends, neighbors, and anybody who needs some, I don't know, some Christmas joy, some holiday joy. It's just some joy. And who is your friend with you today?
This is Gianni. Gianni
Oh,
is he's going to be 15 years old on
oh,
Valentine's Day. Yep. And he just loves to like snuggle at this hour and by the fire over here by the fire. See?
oh
Okay.
yeah, I see. Look at.
And so we're home. We're home, and I was going to go to my studio, but I thought, oh, it's Christmas, and it'll be nice to share Christmas from home with you by the fire and the tree, and
That's nice.
and
I
so
have my fire
yeah,
behind me, which is the whiteboard.
yes, it's burning white.
Adrian
Yes.
Christian. I'm sorry I didn't introduce you to the show. I was like so excited about everything else that's going on. Um, you are a songwriter. You're a philanthropist. I can never say that word. Are you an actor too?
Yes, yes. I came from New York theater and been working off Broadway since I was 16. Had a nightclub act at 15. Um,
Wow.
did a couple of small things on TV and film, Illuminata, Forensic Files, things like that. And then came over here to really pursue my recording career full time, and came here, meaning Los Angeles. And so, yeah, got to release the EP, which is A Song for You. Went to, did a 50 city tour for it in 2019.
Mhm.
And that included a stop in Puerto Rico, where we had a mission to, a team of us got together and we put rooftops onto the homes of people who were damaged by the Hurricane Maria. And that went really well as well. And then I was recording, and I went back to the recording studio in Nashville, and I was recording a couple of projects, and one of them is a Christmas album. And then I was recording, and I got like quite a lot of it done. But then the lockdown happened, and so right now, as we're like heading towards the end of this year, I didn't want the year to go by without, releasing something from it. And since I was working on a Christmas album, I thought, okay, well, we'll put out the single, and that's Midnight Will Be Clear.
And how did we just had Rick on the show, and he wrote the song. How did it come about that
Yes.
you actually took on the song and to record it?
It was so, he has no idea how he wrote it because he explains it, and it's kind of like it came to him. And I feel the same way about how the song came to me to record it, because it kind of came to me. And Rick and I have known each other. He was working on a film short for it, which got into festivals, and for the song, he made a music video short, and I was in it. I was cast in it, and so I was working with him on it, but we're doing takes, and I'm saying to him, Rick, I would love to record this song. And he said, I'd be honored. And he had loved the EP that I had done. So I said, okay, well, I purchased it. I purchased the right. I paid him the whole bit, shebang. We did it all legit, and so then I went to the studio with my producer and recorded it, and he heard it only in mid-November, and it was released on Thanksgiving Day at midnight. And So it was just something that I felt like it fit, even though I don't do country music a lot. I was My producer and I we were toying with that sound, and it just felt like it fit. And the story and how moving it was, and we felt it would be a great a great song to be on the album. And so that's how it came about. It was just it kind of like organically came.
Excellent. And tell us a little bit about the story. I mean, this song does have a story, and
Hmm.
tell the audience a little bit about the story of the song.
I felt a responsibility to the story. The story, it's a story song about a man um, who became sober. So I had never heard a Christmas song that was about recovery and about, giving up the bottle, and I thought it was very different. Like, and so this man in the song, he's about to have the best Christmas he's ever had because suddenly everything is clear and midnight will be clear. And so the so and also it came upon a midnight clear is this man's favorite Christmas song. So it's a play on that. So when Rick wrote the song, he was doing a play on those words, but it's a completely original Christmas song. And I thought it was beautiful, and it doesn't matter what I thought because I could love something and then you put it out and then people may not even like it. But I'm stunned by how, when the pandemic came, it just kind of took on a different meaning. That midnight will be clear. It's like, it's going to be all right kind of thing. And that's the thing that people are drawing from it, it seems. So it's taken on like this other life as well. And it felt like the right thing to release right now.
Well, okay. Well, we have the audio, so we're going to play a little bit of it right now for you guys. Hold on.
It's Christmas Eve in the past. He would go to midnight mass. He'd sing songs of praise with gin on his breath, his mind in a haze. Not a day went by. He didn't need to get higher. The taste of his drink, as sweet as the sound of the choir. His favorite song of the season is always ringing in his ears. His New Year's resolution, he put down the bottle, it's been almost a year. This Christmas will be the first one in a long time. Midnight will be clear. Midnight will be clear.
Well, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
Wow, that was really.
Thank you.
You're very impressive. I think country's your new thing. You need twang.
My hubby said to me, he said, I played it for him only days before release. Also, I had been hiding this thing, and the photo too, doing the photo shoot and working with Bradford Rogney,
See the photo behind me, guys. That's a country hot boy right there.
Oh, thank you. And so, so when I showed him the photo, then I played the song, and then so when I showed him the photo, he said to me, "This is a side of you I've never seen." And
and he liked it, right?
I think so, but it just like, it was something that was kind of like a part of me in me, and I just felt like, Rick and I both are from New York, and we grew up on New York radio, and there were country stations over there. So it's not like we came from Tennessee or from Memphis or from, or from San Antonio. We're from New York, but we grew up with country radio as well. And so there is some influence there from, from the old country. I mean, I know what, I might be a little more Crystal Gale than Loretta Lynn, but I feel like, if I felt like there was a lane for me there, and it really resonated with me. And what's also crazy is that Rick and I both are not drinkers, so we don't have that experience of being in the recovery community, but we both could understand it. We could understand it. And I was able to draw on my life experience with people that I've, lived with, gone through the whole thing. So it was a special, I felt it was a really special thing, a gift.
Yes. And you are getting a lot of airplay too, aren't you?
Yeah, it started playing on the radio. It's on the radio in Tennessee. It's out there near Nashville, and in South America, it's getting airplay every day now. So internationally, it's playing. And you know, I it boggles my mind that this is the first U.S. radio airplay that I'm getting. So it's
Well, I mean,
when I
it's a great message, and I think we all need it. You were talking before. I
and
mean,
it's Christmas and what a year we've had, right? And all of that. So yeah, I just think that but the fact that people like it, and also shout out to my producer Kevin Leach, who really produced, I said to him, this has got to sound like Nashville radio. I said that to him because I wanted it to be authentic, and I wanted the banjos to play, and I wanted certain flavors in there, and so I'm so happy with people liking it, and also I don't it just called upon me to tell the story and get out of the way. Like I didn't want to add so many crazy things on it vocally. I just wanted to tell the story, and so I took it almost upon it like an actor.
absolutely. So, talking about Christmas songs, what is your favorite Christmas song?
Oh, wow. Lovely question. Well, for years I've been singing "Oh Holy Night" a lot. Like every year I tend to sing it. There are some songs on the Christmas album, which is going to come out next year. It's not this year. That's going to be for Christmas 2021. There were like 40 songs that I was pulling from for this album. And there are two originals. One is "Midnight Will Be Clear," and then there's another original in there, and by another songwriter. And then I love "I Wander as I Wander." I love that Christmas song. You may have heard it, a version that Barbara Streisand did, and of course Vanessa Williams did a beautiful version of it also. But I've got my own version of it, and I'm excited about that. We're working with an orchestra on the prayer.
Oh, wow.
And
Nice.
yeah, and so there's some really special things, and then there's some really offbeat things that you've never heard on a Christmas album. And then for the Reverend Susan Klein, who asked me to, I am doing have yourself a merry little Christmas. I'm going to do that as well. So it's hard, but "I Wonder as I Wander" is right up there in the prayer.
Oh, nice. So in this crazy world of the pandemic, how have you been getting along? I mean, it's been 9 months now. What are some of the things that's allowed you and helped you get through this crazy time?
Oh, Mike. I made it a conscious choice to keep busy, and to keep working on something so that there'd be a reason to wake up in the morning. I did balloon up a few pounds, and then I lost it. I gained weight and I lost it.
Ballooned.
Yeah, because in the beginning I was like Cheetos, and stuff like that. But then I just said, "Oh, I want to get to work. I want to live," and you have to make that conscious choice. What got me through was being able to have, there's a Zoom group that with the MCC, UCC, and the Valley Church that we josh around, around noon, and we talk and we laugh and stuff like that. So connecting with people has been amazing. But also my hubby, Peter, he gets a shout out because, in the beginning of the pandemic, I said to him, if I'm going to be stuck with anybody, because a lot of people live alone,
Yes.
and I said, if I would be stuck with anybody in a pandemic, I'm so glad it's you. And he
Aw.
said, "Oh my God, I feel the same way. I'm so glad it's you too. Like, we don't annoy each other. Like, we really don't. Like, we get along as people as well. He works from home, and I'm doing stuff as well. So we gather at night and everything. But we so that, like, we actually really enjoy each other's company just on a pure level like that. So we're fortunate that we're not around somebody who's really annoying, which we really know people who are. So it's like,
What? Are you
so
talking about me?
Mike, finally you called, and well, but I'm just so thankful that I feel lucky. I feel lucky in that way because, again, there are people that I talk to, in this whole political time as well, the election year, and people. So sometimes, people will text me, or they needed assurance, or at the, in the middle of the night, or so having a few friends to kind of chat with and reach out to and talk to, some family members or cousins and people that I love, that I'm close to. So the trick is not letting yourself be alone too much. It's okay. It's good to have some alone time. Oh, and Mike, I think you can appreciate this. I'm big on old movies. I have an amazing collection. I'm also a collector of classic TV. So when Charlie's Angels, the Blu-ray box came out,
What?
I had never seen the whole show, and I had never seen season one because I was too young and I wasn't allowed to stay up at night, whatever. So I'd see clips of it, of Farrah and whatnot, and then when Cheryl came in, she was a joy for me as a kid. I had a poster on my wall and all that. But anyway, watching some comfort TV, I call that comfort TV,
Oh yeah.
and so that, those get me through the nights, So I keep myself filled with things that will give me some joy, because the noise in the news was really toxic, and you have to say enough at some point,
That's true. That's true. That's nice. That's nice.
right?
So you mentioned Puerto Rico before.
Yeah.
Do you have any updates on how they're doing during this crazy time?
Reverend Albert, happy birthday. He just had a birthday, and he's the pastor over there at the MCC Church in Mayagüez, Puerto Rico. They were doing great. We raised over $9,000. The goal was 5,000, but we raised over 9, and we got to donate the panels for that would be good for about 20 homes. And so we did the first home, and I signed the roof on the first one, and it was one of the most proud days of my life and then we went into people's homes and knocked on their doors, and we actually talked to them, prayed with them, asked them how they were doing. So there was some incredible things. So how they're doing, amidst the pandemic, and also some storms that followed, and some earthquakes, and outages, power outages that they experienced. It was one thing after another, and it's so destroyed, and they were just left abandoned. The U.S. government did not follow through on their promise. So I am eagerly hopeful that in this coming year, we're going to see more funds dispersed. The problem was that there were people who owned homes that they inherited from their ancestors and their parents and grandparents that they had no paper for.
Oh.
So if it was not registered, by paper, they couldn't qualify for FEMA help and money. So that's where people like us stepped in, and people like Lin-Manuel Miranda, who raised over $1 million, people who have come in like that. So they continue with dignity. We just need to get past this time, and they're doing the best they can. But my prayers are always with them.
Absolutely. You did a beautiful job, a beautiful thing for this.
Thank you.
Everyone. So what else is on your agenda for 2021? Other than the Christmas
Well,
album, is there something else coming up?
yeah, this year I didn't get incredibly involved politically, but I did because of the health crisis that this country was in. I initiated a petition for a national COVID-19 testing day because I wanted expansive testing, and I did that early on, but a lot of it was ignored because of the mixed messaging coming from the White House, and people were just like, mixed about getting tested and wearing masks, and we were living in that culture. But I think that things are swaying now, and the upcoming White House is administration is going to be a lot more receptive to reaching the governors. Like I would be reaching every single governor in this country to encourage them to expand their testing. But all of that is coming, but I'll be doing something that will be along those lines in terms of helping us all move forward. So that's my plan. And then I'm going to complete recordings. I've got a music video coming out in late January, a pop song. And then I've got a brand new pop song coming out in the early summer.
Wow, great things to look forward to, guys. Excellent. Well, okay, so this is a question my parents have and my sister has been asking me. What's on your Christmas list? What do you want for Christmas?
I feel incredibly blessed that I have so much, and
Oh, come on, you
more
want,
than I
there's
imagine.
something you
Hold
want. Come on. Come on.
Okay, I just got a bike, which I hadn't had, which I'm excited about. But so gear for the bike would be great. My deep, deep desire is to have a car, but I first have to have a license.
Oh, that would help.
But
Yes. I think that's a good step to do the license.
My dream car would be a convertible in sky blue with a 10 interior, and like a BMW convertible.
You haven't thought about that at all, have you?
No.
But yeah, I would suggest maybe the driver's license first, because there's so many bad drivers already in LA. We don't need another.
Really? Okay. All right.
That's my suggestion.
But I'll wish that, even for next year.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a next year thing to do.
Yeah. I did register for driver's school, but I then pandemic came and I didn't want to be near anybody.
I don't want to be near anybody anyway, so it worked
because
out.
I want to be a defensive driver. I want to do it right.
Sometimes I feel when I'm driving around LA, I feel like I'm in a arcade video or arcade game.
Yes.
I don't know if you ever did that one with the duck that crossed the road, and you would get hit by the cars. That's how I feel sometimes out there.
It's so good to see you, Mike.
It's so good to see you. Thank you for doing the show today, and congratulations on the new single. And it's amazing that we need something like that in these times, and it's a great song, and you do beautifully in it.
Thank you. Get it on iTunes, and you can also go to adrianchristian.com.
Absolutely. And is that the best places for people to see everything you're doing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for being my guest today, and your beautiful Christmas tree and your puppy, which is, he's still there.
Yes, stay safe and have a Christmas that you can really call your family and for your listeners and your watchers, and just know that it's going to be over and it's not going to be like this forever. But it just reminds us about what's valuable and what matters in life. The things that are not tangible, but that we can be together again. And so I hope the song brings you some warmth and some joy at this time when we need it. So I'm thrilled, and I thank you so much for having me on, calling me to have me on, and I'll keep you up to what's happening.
Keep me updated. Thank you everybody out there in the world watching. Thank you for all of you on Happy TV, HAPPI TV. If you need Happy TV, go to your streaming stick, your online. I think you can get it on your phone. It is the best place to watch all the free LGBTQ plus content you can get out there. Of course, like Mike Pingel, the Mike Pingel Show Facebook page, and please share this with friends and family. And of course, and buy the single. Buy the single. Go and buy the single.
Midnight Will Be Clear.
Midnight Will Be Clear. And you can also buy the EP. It's a great Christmas gift. Songs for You. Do you have another one, or just this is the only one you have?
That's the only one. The other one's coming out later next year.
So songs for you, or me. This is mine. It says to me.
That's right.
Adrian, thank you so much for joining me today, and happy holidays, and be safe out there. And thank you again. For
You
all
too. Keep smiling, okay?
Absolutely.
It's Christmas Eve in the past. He would go to midnight mass. He'd sing songs of praise with gin on his breath, his mind in a haze. Not a day went by. He didn't need to get higher. The taste of his drink, as sweet as the sound of the choir. His favorite song of the season is always ringing in his ears. His New Year's resolution, he put down the bottle, it's been almost a year. This Christmas will be the first one in a long time. Midnight will be clear. Midnight will be clear. He'd been on a downhill slide, lost friends, his job, his pride, till he sank to his knees, looked up at the stars, said, Lord, help me please. As soon as he did, he felt peace in his soul. On this holy day, he'd sing that glorious song of old. His favorite song of the season is always ringing in his ears. His New Year's resolution, he put down the bottle, it's been almost a year. This Christmas will be the first one in a long time. Midnight will be clear. Midnight will be clear. There are 12 steps he follows. There are 12 days of Christmas. There's only one thing that saved him, the love of Jesus. His favorite song of the season, it came upon a midnight clear. His New Year's resolution, he put down the bottle, it's been almost a year. This Christmas will be the first one in a long time. Midnight will be clear. Midnight will be clear. It came upon a midnight clear. This Christmas will be the first one in a long time. Midnight will be clear.